Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Kryptocraft with your host, Nighthawk. We are up here at the top of the factory tower. I've added a little bit of a floor. I'm still going to add, I think I'm going to fill in those blocks as well, but that's not what we're here to do today. So I've been working on setting up the layout for a fusion reactor in the main power floor. But in order to actually run that fusion reactor, we're going to need a couple of materials. Specifically, we are going to need deuterium, which is this deuterium cell here, which we make by centrifuging hydrogen cells. And we're also going to need helium-3. And so today we are going to start by making a system to automatically produce the deuterium cells and use those cells to fill up a tank. And I did not bring the cells that we're going to need. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get the system entirely running, as I don't have a way of getting power to it quite yet. I actually still need to make the figure out what Flip is talking about, but I don't have the power for it yet. I'm planning on powering this with a set of hybrid solar panels. Name totally vanished there for a moment. Sounds like fun. So yeah, that's going to be powered by solar panels, and I haven't had a chance to make those hybrid solar panels yet, but we can get the basic structure of the machine built, and then I can just add the power and we'll get rolling with it. So the first thing we need to do is make a place to put all of the deuterium as we make it. And what we're going to do here, I need something. These will work. Need just a bit of scaffolding here. Actually, I guess I've got the wall to scaffold from. Whoops. Now, the idea here is that I'm going to go, that I think I'm going to use for, whoops, a little overly aggressive there. Let's go fetch our stairs. What I think I'm going to do here is get the stairs back on my hotbar and put this back. And then put this back. I'm going to take a pipe off of the tank, and it's going to come down here and go out into this support column here. Going to go out into this corner and go down in that support column and then back down the wall inside once it's inside the lower area, so that it will make this a little bit bulkier, but I think it'll look pretty good that way. I think that'll work pretty well. So that's the idea. So what I need to do is we're going to put a tank in, and we're going to have one of the valves in this corner so that we can pull off the liquiduct and take it down. And then from there, we're going to expand this out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be too big, because then I won't have enough room to work. So let's make this, I think if we make this 5 by 5, we'll be able to store up enough deuterium to keep our reactor running and still have room to set up our automated machine to make the deuterium. So let's do that. 3, 4, 5. There's the bottom of it, and let us take this up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll take it up 7 blocks. That seems like a good place to go. That's right. So once we get this tank built, then we can start putting together our machine. Like so. Let's do a nice little pattern in the top, I think. That'll look okay. I don't know if I have enough of the tank blocks with me at the moment. I didn't count how many it was going to take, partially because I hadn't figured out how big of a tank I was going to make. Now we'll put the, I guess we'll put the liquid transposer portion of this machine here. We can fill in this back wall with the regular blocks. Whoa. No, not that kind. Because the back here won't be visible from outside. And I think we'll also fill in the bottom with the regular blocks as well. And there's that. We'll go like so. Fill that. Fill that. And here we'll do the opposite. Let's get out of the tank. There we go, and this will hold 2.8 million deuterium. Now, the next thing that we need to do is make this thing... I didn't bring water up either, so I'll have to bring a couple things back up to make this whole thing work. But we can get the general idea going here. So we're going to take our liquid transposer, and we're going to stick that right, whoops, not there. We're going to put our liquid transposer right on the valve. Now we're going to change this to empty. We want it to put the liquid into the tank. No, don't want it to do anything with those inputs. We want it to take items into this side. And we want it to spit the empty cells out of the bottom. Now we're going to take, we'll go ahead and put the pipes off the bottom of it. Now what this is going to do is we're going to use the electrolyzer to electrolyze water from the aqueous accumulator. That will make hydrogen cells, which we send into the centrifuge. And then the centrifuge will turn that into deuterium cells and empty cells. And then our fabricator that I have here is to take the empty cells or the air cells that the electrolyzer also produces and turn them into empty cells. Now, in order for this all to work, I wish I had the floor completed here. It would be easier to work around here, but such is life. So we want... I've also got these emerald pipes. I won't be able to actually set the emerald pipes or put the gates on either, come to think of it, because I don't have all of the cells here. But what we're going to do is there's going to be an emerald pipe going here. We need to get our Omni wrench out, because we will need that. We'll throw the bag on the floor. This is our centrifuge. I'm going to put it right here. Turn that gate. Now, and the other thing that I'm going to be doing here is I'm only going to put 64 empty cells into this system, and it doesn't use any cells in the process. All of the cells are recovered, so I don't have to worry about actually getting any cells back, which is a big plus. I may have to also remember... Oh, well, let's see. No, I know what I did. Whoops. I fell off the world is what I did. Let's go, and we're going to put a pipe here. And this pipe is going to be filtering to only pull out empty cells. I can also go ahead and put the gate on it. And this gate is going to look for any items in the inventory. It's going to send a pulse and send them out. From there, we're not going to put this on the wall. We're going to put this right there. Let's have... I may actually end up with more than one iron pipe like I had originally designed this, but that'll be perfectly fine. Now, there's one other thing that I didn't test, and that's with the fabricator, is if it can pull items from... Well, no, it's going to have to be on the side. Never mind. It won't really matter. Now let's put our... We're going to go out this way. Now, when I did this on my creative world, I had this actually a lot more compact, but I wanted it a little bit more spread out, because I want to have something using some of this space. So maybe I actually will change how this is set up, because I actually want to use up most of this space if I can. The overall efficiency as far as... Where did that go? Did that just go floating off the side of the building? Where did it go? That is weird. Oh, I did get it. Weird. I didn't hear it pop into my inventory. Up we go. So yeah, the overall size efficiency is not as important. Come on. There we go. It would be more important if we were constrained on space or anything like that, but we're not. We might as well actually make use of the space that we have. Woo! Get back up there. So we're going to go out here. We're going to put a gate there. We're going to put the air cell in the filter and put our centrifuge here. Now from the centrifuge, if the input goes in the top, we also need to pull out of the centrifuge. Oops, give me that. We also need to pull out of the centrifuge to the front. Actually, I didn't want the empty cell here. That's going to be the hydrogen cell. Or not the hydrogen, the deuterium cell. So off the front of this. And let's go and set this to items in inventory and pulse so that we have that going. And bring this over this way. And put a iron pipe here. we're just going to bring this over a little bit. No, that's too far. And we're going to go up here and put our industrial electrolyzer in. And now this guy is going to also have a pipe going off of it. And this one will be set with a filter for the hydrogen. And that's going to go up, come over this way, and go into our centrifuge. Now the other thing that we need over here is not the aqueous accumulator. We need the fabricator. He's going to sit right here. And we are going to... How am I missing? I am doing something weird. I must have miscounted how many of those I needed. Let's get one more of these emerald pipes out, because we also need to have an emerald pipe coming off of here. We also need one more iron pipe. And this is going to go down. This needs to be an iron pipe. Let's set this to go up, this to go over to the electrolyzer. And this fabricator we're going to have make empty cells. So we want this to be an empty cell. Let's set this to items in inventory. And if we put an empty cell in, not in that side, if we put an empty cell over here, it should very quickly get pulled out, and it's going to go zipping along here into the electrolyzer where it sits in there ready to go. Now the next part of this, we need some liquiducts, and we're going to, let's see, where's a good place? I guess we can make the, we'll put the aqueous accumulator. I guess I want it so that it's in the, so that it'll have the floor. So let's go ahead and first start by putting this. Actually, we want this out one. Grab those. And that was too far. So we're going to put the aqueous accumulator right here. Those don't connect. And what we will do is finish out the floor underneath, and then we'll put water around the aqueous accumulator so it can provide water into our electrolyzer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a quick trip down, and we're going to make the cells to put into the system, and we're going to get a couple of water buckets. Let's also grab, let's see, I want one other material. Maybe I'll do tin blocks as well. Let's grab some of that. Let's put some electrum in here. And then we'll also make, I don't know if that's going to be enough. Should be enough to at least get that corner done. And then I can make some more later. Kind of a silly use for electrum and tin, but we have a lot of it. So let's put those. Let's also go get some water at our handy dandy little spring up here. And let's fly back up. And, whoa, come on, let me through. Then let's go like so. And that's all the electrum. I think that looks nice. I also need to get some light in here. Maybe I will replace the tin with some sort of lights. Also need something to block this side. Do I have anything useful in here for that purpose? No, of course not. Oh, look at all the advanced circuits I have. I guess I will use these red zicordite plates, red structure plates for the moment, just so that we can get this going. Oh, that water's nasty looking. There we go. Now that should produce a lot of produce water very quickly because of it having the having three sides covered with water that are source blocks, so it should pump water out very quickly. Let's see, do I have levers or a redstone torch? No. Those are also things that would be useful, because I think I might be able to switch this to the extractor mode and get water through this quicker. I guess ultimately it doesn't matter because it is filling up with water fairly quickly. I think it will put water in there faster than it can actually electrolyze it, so we should be okay that way. So the idea here is we electrolyze the water. It becomes 4 hydrogen cells and 1 air cell. Excuse me. The air cell will get pulled out by the fabricator and turned into an empty cell, which gets cycled right back into the electrolyzer. I also didn't make the cells that I was going to make. The hydrogen cells get pulled out, and they'll go up and over to this centrifuge. The centrifuge takes the 4 hydrogen cells and makes 3 empty cells and 1 deuterium cell. The empty cells get cycled right back into the electrolyzer again, and the deuterium cells come over here to the transposer, which empties out the cell and puts it into this giant tank. Once we actually have the fusion reactor ready and actually set up the pipes to take the deuterium down to the fusion reactor, then we will set up a pipe coming off, or a liquid duct coming off of here. And it will just come over to the corner, come down here and into the wall, or into this corner. And then it will go down to the bottom. Now the next thing that we need to do in order to get ready for a fusion reactor, besides actually making all the parts of the fusion reactor itself, is we need to set up another system that will take glowstone and turn it into helium-3. Unfortunately, the helium-3 takes a lot longer to make as far as the actual processing of it goes, so it will take much longer to actually fill up a tank with the helium-3 and to continue making the helium-3. But I think we can get it set up, and then we'll have a pretty good stockpile of it, and we may have to actually use several machines to do the first phase of it. It takes the centrifuge. I think it's actually, yeah, it's 2 stages of centrifuging. So we may actually have to have a few, several centrifuges in order to do the helium-3 phase of this. So this very messy machine, I'll get it all wired up on off camera, and we'll probably go through the actually show it in operation for the next episode. For the time being, we have an almost full water tank here, and let's see, we'll wait for it to fill up. There, it's full. This pipe should get all filled up. Come on. Show me you can do it. That's all full. You should be filling that pipe up. Where's the water going if it's not actually going into the electrolyzer now? Normally this liquiduct should show that it's getting filled up. Strange. Oh, now it is. Maybe there just is enough overflow storage. I don't know where it went, but apparently it went somewhere. Anyway, that strangeness aside, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and a little look at how to automate this stuff. One thing I will say is that the electrolyzer here, the cells, the empty cells have to go into the bottom of the machine. If the cells go into the top of the machine, they end up in this slot right here, and it doesn't work. So when you're out there automating your own machine setup, well, just keep that in mind, and it will save you a lot of headaches later on. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will get the power all hooked up to this soon and get the rest of the system all wired up. And we'll show, hopefully in the next episode, that we have deuterium starting to build up. Again, hope you guys enjoyed. Please take a moment to hit like and subscribe if you are not subscribed already. Helps me out a ton. I greatly appreciate every subscriber. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Bye.